In today's video, we are going to be breaking down the New Jersey Nets and their basketball offense. These are some of my favorite plays that they have ran at the beginning of this season so far. And of course, if you don't already know, Steve Nash, one of my favorite point guards of all time, is their head coach. Let's get down and let's check out the New Jersey Nets and their basketball offenses. So in this first play, it's a 5-out offense, and their center is actually the one who is starting with the ball. Usually when you would set this up is you would have your point guard get the ball up the court, and then you would have your center who would pop up usually from the free throw line if you were to run this with a high school level team. At that point in time, what they're going to have is a screen from the corner player coming up and setting a screen on that point guard. Now really quickly, if you're trying to figure out why I have graphics already on this video, I stole a couple of these clips from B-Ball Breakdown. Then from there, what we're going to have is Kyrie Irving in this case using that screen, and he's going to be popping down towards this corner. Now, if this was a strong screen, he could have cut towards the basket, and that could have been an easy pass, and also an easy layup. But again, it comes down to the screens and what your offensive goals really are. Now from there, that center is going to pass over to the wing player on this side. What we're going to have now is a staggered screen away for that point guard. Now, if that point guard was to cut to the rim and he wasn't open, we would want him to fill out to the corner, and then we would have this staggered screen set up for him to then use and then later get that ball. However, instead of it being a regular pass, you can also have Kevin Durant set a screen as well, or a dribble handoff, I should say, but in this case, they do not set that staggered with a dribble handoff. They just get Kyrie Irving the ball, and then he's able to take that shot. Of course, if he is open, that top staggered screen is then going to be cutting towards the basket. DeAndre Jordan is obviously a very, very good player when it comes to his ability to jump, but also so is Wiseman in this case. So, of course, they're not going to be risking a pass over top of Wiseman. Even though he's a rookie, he's a very good defender. So what we're going to have now is a quick attack by Kyrie Irving, a quick jab and dribble, and of course he's able to finish with that shot. Really quickly, before we get to the next play, I really want to tell you about the complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense. Make sure to go check that out down in the description below. So now in this next play, what we're going to have is a very similar play to the last. However, there's a few differences to it. So now we're going to have that same staggered screen away. We're going to have a forward or even a guard dribbling the ball up at the point. That corner player, he is going to be using that staggered screen. However, that front player who's setting that first screen is going to roll towards the basket. Obviously, could be an option for a pass. However, Wiseman was taking up a lot of space down there. Now, when we have this player curling around, what you could have is this player curling around, popping out for a 3 if this was a strong screen. But instead, if it's not a very strong screen as we have here, we have Wiggins going underneath that screen. We now have a double screen or a staggered screen on the ball handler instead. Now in this case, Durant's able to get an open shot, slightly contested by Wiseman, but this is what I'm talking about all the time. Even though this is a 5-out offense and I'm a really huge fan of the 5-out offense, I really want my players, when I'm coaching, to be able to read the defense and react to it. So instead of cutting all the way through, like I was mentioning, he's able to set another screen and turn it into a staggered screen instead of a single screen that may have already been there anyways. So it's always great to have your players think for themselves on the fly, because then it could end up having an even better outcome. So now in this first play, we're going to have a couple of players gathered together. Now personally, I would call this a 5-out. I would have this player a little bit deeper into that corner, but either way, we're going to have a pass over towards the corner player who is popping up towards the wing, and now Kyrie Irving is going to be cutting through. Now, from there, we're going to have Kevin Durant. He's going to be cutting through the key, and from that wing player, we're going to have a pass up towards the point. From here, what we're going to have is now a screen for Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving could use that screen. He could pop up, maybe open for a shot. This looks like it could be a back screen as well for Joe Harris. And if that's the case, then that could have been either a 3 or a lob for an alley-oop. But instead, what we're going to have is Kyrie Irving, again, reading the defense and reacting, faking the use of that screen, and Kyrie Irving cutting towards the basket. Now, this could have been a screen for Joe Harris as well, going down to the corner in case Kyrie Irving did get the ball, he could kick it out. But instead, now we're going to have some one-on-one action mismatch, a small guy versus a little bit of a larger player. And from there, Kyrie Irving is able to get that ball over top of that defender. So again, now running a very similar style 5-out offense. Again, more and more teams are running the 5-out. They are finding out that they are able to beat more and more zones as well as man-to-man defenses with the 5-out. What we have here is a 4-out, 1-in. The post player comes up to set a screen. What he's going to be setting a screen for at first is going to be the player from this wing. He's going to be popping up. Postman comes up and sets a screen, in this case for him. Now, if that's a good screen, that could be a quick 3. If not, we're going to have now 3 players who are clearing out towards that right side of the court. We're going to have a screen and roll up top. From here, this could be a screen and roll using Allen towards the basket, or you can again read the defense, fake that you're going to use that screen, and instead attack. And then when you attack, you have to know and understand how to put a player in jail. Of course, if you've got another defender in front of you, and of course your main defender behind you. But if you don't understand how to get your player in jail, essentially, what you can do is all-out attack, make that player commit to you, and then get the rolling Allen towards the net and pass him the ball, and of course could have an easy mid-key layup or floater or even a dunk. Now, if you're going up against a man-to-man defense, in a baseline inbounds play, this is also a very good option. So what we're going to have is a shooter, a 3-point shooter on this side that keeps at least one defender out of the key because nobody wants him to have that ball. From there, we're going to have 3 players up top. What we're going to have is this player setting a screen for this player, and then also the middle player setting a screen as well. So basically it looks like this. He's setting a screen and he's setting a screen. This guy is going to be popping over. Now, the idea here is going to be that last screening player, he's going to be rolling towards the basket because his main defender is going to be popping out because nobody wants him to shoot. And because of that, he's able to roll towards the basket and get alley-oop dunks like Jordan did here. I hope that these basketball plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out the complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below.